Well, I guess I'll take advantage of this few minutes to do a sound check. And everything looks good to me. Sounds good, looks good, is good. Oh, I hear some audio in the background.
I thought I had
It's like there's
muted.
somebody else in the studio with me.
I had muted the computer, but for some reason it wasn't muted.
Wasn't muty?
It's
Wasn't
muty
muted?
now.
So we're live on What's on Westport. We're live on Jake by the Lake. We are live on Westport Video, which was Espresso Shots. And we are also live on Vimeo. If anybody ever watches Vimeo, I don't know. We are live on Twitch. I got a few viewers on Twitch. I don't spend a lot of time working on the Twitch side of it, but that is live. Periscope is live. Oh no, Periscope is not on tonight. And YouTube, I believe, is live as well. So there you go. Beaming it out to all kinds of people all across the world.
North Crosby Bob is in the house and the sound is good.
Sound is good.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bob. I used to always get so freaked out about the sound. Now it's like I don't get so freaked out about it.
Good for you.
Because I got nothing really to say anyway, so it's up to this. So, Cynthia,
Yes,
did I
John.
tell you what's speaking of sound? So I don't have my condenser mic hooked up anymore. My H4n because Studio won't recognize it anymore. So
Okay, so you don't have a. What are you using for audio?
I got to use a web mic.
Okay, and then what? And what's picking up my voice?
Same
Yours?
web mic right off this thing right here.
Okay.
So it's surprisingly loud.
Bob's hoping there's a dark roast tonight. You have something prepared for your dark roast?
Let's see. I did a donate now button somewhere.
Penny is watching from Westport. I hope the move went well for Penny. She's moving on Saturday. We did have a bit of snow. It wasn't long lived. So hopefully it didn't interfere with the move too much.
But more importantly, I hope Penny got the right recycling out.
Oh, yeah. You know what happened with my recycling today?
No.
They didn't, you know how I said to you, they're probably not going to pick yours up because you didn't have it bundled?
Yeah.
They didn't take mine and they said it was too big. So I have
That's what she said.
So I have two big stacks of boxes and they didn't take them.
But they took mine.
They took yours. So I'm a little ticked off about that because
Ain't
I didn't.
That some bullshit?
A little bit, yeah.
Ain't that some bullshit?
So now I'm gonna have to, you know, I don't know if I need to rebundle it for 2 weeks' time or. It's pretty frustrating anyway because I gave you a hard time about not having yours like taped or put string on it and stuff, and they didn't even take mine.
Nice. Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna roll this intro.
Your countdown says 2 minutes, but it's 7:30 now, so you can run it now. Turn your audio on and run it now.
No, I'm gonna let the last 1 minute and 40 seconds run down, and I'm gonna turn my volume down. Get ready for an outstanding show. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
It's a little too on the nose if you ask me. I mean,
No,
but
it's gonna be
nobody
fine,
did,
and you
so.
look fabulous.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Well, that was a real cluster of an intro. I was like, what the heck happened there? It's like the audio, the audio banged out, and then the video banged out, and I'm gonna attempt to start this whole show again because I'm not digging that. I don't even know what went on there. Um, I have no idea what even went on there. All I wanted to do was a cue. Oh, okay, this has got to come out. This is all we wanted to do was to play this audio right here. And we just back it up just a little bit, and we'll start again.
It's a little too on the nose if you ask me. I mean,
No,
but
it's gonna
nobody
be fine,
did,
and you
so.
look fabulous.
Okay.
Okay, here we go, and action.
Well, here we are. I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. All right. So tonight I've got two monitors hooked up. So I'm trying something new, and right away I'm realizing that I'm getting some latency. I'm getting two sets of audios coming at me. I'm hoping that you guys aren't hearing the same. It's just a bit hard for me as I'm listening to things tonight. So, welcome to Espresso Shots Live. It is the beginning of March. Welcome to the show, Cynthia. How are you over there?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing over there? That was a great double decker intro.
It was a double decker something, eh? All I can see is the top of Cynthia's head tonight, because, like I said, I've got two monitors set up, so I can kind of follow along a little bit better on Cottage Coffee. Cynthia is following along tonight on the Espresso Shot,
Westport
which is
Video and Jake by the Lake.
Jake Blake. So, how's it going, guys? What is in your cup tonight?
So as we're waiting for people to respond about what's in their cup, we've got Fred is checking in from Sun Peaks, BC. Penny moved on the weekend, so it sounds like that went well. We've got Brad Greenslade is watching along, so hopefully he's been feeling better, and he's tuning in from Burridge. We also have some new people watching on Jake Bellick. We've got Wendy Williams, Aaron Kirkpatrick Baker, Shannon Mary Lee, Belinda Morin, and Christine Kitchen. Welcome to Espresso Shots Live.
Yes, welcome to the show. So, like I said, I had to turn mine off because I was getting a double set of audio, which was a bit confusing for me. I get confused at the best of times anyway, so I don't want to over confuse myself tonight. Here, I was going along and I was talking about, oh, the audio doesn't bother me anymore. Like, I'm past that now. The first thing I do is I stumble into an audio issue.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you are so confident.
I know, too arrogant.
Fred, if you're still watching and you're not out skiing, Bob Weir wants to know, how is the powder in BC?
Yes, how's the powder in BC? Give us a weather report or snow report or a powder report.
And from North Carolina, Maureen is watching with us. She's got a coffee session in my glass. Now I don't know if maybe it's her or maybe it's Jeff because I thought Jeff drank the beer. But anyway, it says Maureen on the screen.
Session IPA, nice. I'm having a glass of water with ice cubes.
And so is Barb Forge. She's having ice water as well.
I have to drag my dry February into March a little bit because I cheated twice in February. I cheated once on Super Bowl Sunday, or Super Bowl Saturday actually, and then one other time. So I'm still on the dry February. Anyway, let's roll this here clip here. When people let us know what they have in their cup tonight. I had a coffee watching Jeopardy tonight. Anybody watch Jeopardy tonight? There was another tie tonight. I forget the two gentlemen's names, but they both ended up with 14,200, and then there was a lady in the middle with 2,000. They both bet it all and lost, and then she bet nothing and won. So that's twice in the last couple of weeks that we've seen a tie on Jeopardy. Pretty exciting.
Okay, Fred saying he's got a Red Racer session IPA. And the powder is amazing, which is great. We also have Joyanne who's watching us from Ottawa. And Cindy Yorks Miller from Pennsylvania. Hi, Cindy. How are you doing? It's 55 degrees there. So that would make it
warmer than here.
Would be somewhere 10 to 12-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's a bit warmer. It was cold yesterday, but it wasn't too bad here in the village today. But I don't want to talk about the weather because that's Happy McSonny's job.
Yep. Bob Weir's having a sleepy time tea.
Ooh.
So
wow.
you probably need some caffeine to get through the show tonight, though, Bob. A sleepy time tea. We'll have you up in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Rock-a-bye Bobby on the treetop. Yeah, tea. Wow. Tea actually keeps me awake, even if it's decaffeinated. It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't settle well with me.
Brenda Giselle's watching as well tonight. She's got ice water. Ice water is the theme tonight.
Ice water. Well, it's dry. The air is dry as well, so yeah, it's nice to get a bit of water. So, anyway, I hope everybody's feeling well. Shout out to my mom if she's watching tonight. Probably she's not. She is had a rough week, so she's recovering from some stuff. So anyway, if you happen to be watching, or anybody in my family is watching tonight, howdy ho to all the Pringles out there tonight. Hope you're all behaving yourselves. That's why we do the show on Wednesday nights, Cynthia, because Fridays and Saturdays are, you never know what can go on those nights.
Right. Wednesday's pretty predictable.
Yeah. So I guess the ban is lifted. People can kind of get out and do things now, right? Is that the deal? What's going on?
Well, they have lifted some stipulations and allowed businesses to reopen. However, in Leeds and Grenville, they do have a confirmed case of the COVID variant.
Right.
And so there's quite a bit of concern over that. I'm not sure if that's the one that's involved with the Moose Pub in Carlton Place or not, but I know that they're opening up a testing clinic right in that pub because I think there's been quite a bit of exposure there. I'm not sure if that's where the variant is. So that makes me a little nervous for our area.
Yeah. We've been pretty lucky. I mean, for the most part around here and people that we know, it's not been around us. What do you think of Texas kind of just the governor saying, okay, we're going to...
So I completely disagree with that.
Do you?
This is not the time to be lifting those kinds of restrictions. Mask wearing is going to be happening probably for at least the rest of 2021.
But the governor's not saying don't wear a mask. He's just not making it a law. So it's up to the individuals to make their own decisions whether they should wear a mask or whether they should die. No, so he's actually allowing people to make their own decisions. So do you think the people that just won't make the right decision?
Yes. I don't
Everybody.
know.
You don't think anybody's going to make the right decision?
Based on the experience of the last 12 months, unless you have a clear rule, people do whatever. People do whatever. So that's my concern.
Yeah, you're probably right. We tend to get a little bit complacent sometimes.
Well,
Yep.
you lift those things and people, you lift all the regulations, and then people think that it's fine and they can go do whatever they want like they used to before. And
Do you
that's
think?
what I find personally frustrating.
Yeah. Do you think if they lifted the regulations on drinking and driving and said you weren't going to get ticketed, do you think people would drink and drive?
Yeah.
Do you think they would?
I think they would.
Hey, did you watch the story today on the man, I'm gonna forget all the details. I forget the guy's name. The guy that took the van and ran over all the people 3 years ago in Toronto finally went to court, and he was sentenced to jail time. I don't know what the time was, but man, I'm glad he was, because he was definitely had that planned out in his head. Whether he fully didn't understand, I don't think he didn't understand, but I'm glad to see that guy got jail time. I'm glad to see the judge did the right thing. I don't know enough about the case, but that's
It was
brutal.
Alec Manasian, and he killed 10 people, injured 16, and yes, he was found guilty today. So that happened back in April of 2018. So we're almost 3 years ago that happened. Yes, and he was found guilty. So the verdict is in.
Takes a long time to process a case, 3 years. You think that's an open and closed case there? I mean, you get in a vehicle, you run down into a city and a busy street in Toronto, and just start mowing people down. That's awful, absolutely awful. I'm glad he is jailed, and I hope hope he finds some remorse when he's in jail. Anyway, enough said about that. That was one of the last things I saw on the news this morning when I was watching it. But listen, so I've been following this Cats guy, and if you've tuned in last week, he's a guy I follow on Twitch. His name is Bernie Cats. I call him Bernie Cats, and he does basically request $1 or $2, and he'll play any song. He'll basically grab his iPad, look at the song, listen to it if you've never heard it, sing it in any language that you like, English, French, Italian, Chinese, whatever. It amazes me. So I said, and he doesn't know many, like, he's somewhere in Florida. So I sent him a request the other day, and I'm going to play it for you guys. So I asked him if he could play some Stompin' Tom, Bud the Spud. And so this is Bernie trying to figure out Bud the Spud and play it. So here you go.
From all you Ontarians, from everybody. It's Bud the Spud from the bright red mud, rolling down the highway smiling. The spuds are big on the back of Bud's rig. They're from Prince Edward Island. They're from Prince Edward Island. Now from Charlestown or from Summerside, they load him down for the big long ride. He jumps in the cab and he's off with the pride. So by gosh, he's gotta catch the boat to make tormenting. And he heads up that old New Brunswick line. To Montreal he comes just a flying, with another big load of potatoes, with another big load of potatoes, with another big load of potatoes, with another big load of potatoes. It's Bud the Spud from the big red mud, rolling down the highway smiling. The Bud Spuds are big on the back of Bud's rig. They're from Prince Edward Island. They're from Prince Edward Island. Now the Ontario Provincial Police don't think much of Bud. Yeah, the cops have been looking for the son of a gun that's been ripping all the tar off the 401. They know the name on the truck shines up in the sun. Green Gables, but hits Toronto, and it's 7 o'clock when he backs her up against the terminal dock. And the boys gather round just to hear him talk about another big load of potatoes. It's Bud the Spud from the Broadway Mud, rolling down the highway smiling. The Spuds are big on the back of Bugs Red, from Prince Edward Island. They're from Prince Edward Island. Now, I know a lot of people from east to west, they like the Spuds from the island best, because they'll stand up to the hardest test right on the table. So when you see that big truck rolling by, wave your hand or kind of wink your eye, because that's Bud the Spud from OPEI. That's Prince Edward Island, everybody. With another big load of potatoes. With another big load of potatoes. It's Bud the Spud from the bright red mud, rolling down the highway smiling. Rolling down the highway smiling. Rolling down the highway smiling. Because he's got another big load of the best doggone potatoes that have ever been grown. And they're from Prince Edward Island. Yeah, they're from Prince Edward Island.
Espresso, hope you enjoyed that, and please read my last whisper. Next one is Shadows on the Wall, Mike Oldfield.
I'll let this play out for a second here.
Shadow on the Wall.
When he asks his wife if she has any potatoes.
Boy, you have any potatoes, Mindy?
We have some, yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Why do you ask?
Because that was all about potatoes.
Oh, okay.
But the Spud.
Shows you how well I listen, right?
Very, very nice. From Prince Edward Island. Oh, Canada. Boop, 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 boop.
Too funny. Oh, it's so funny. I think that guy's so great, man. Cracks me up.
He's so talented too, like crazy talented. Carter's made some obscure requests as well, and he's played it magnificently. Like just
Yeah.
really talented dude.
Absolutely. So we might as well. I don't know what have you guys? What's on your plate? What's on your plate? Let's ask people what's on their plate. So there you go. What's on your plate tonight? I tell you what was on our plate. We Cynthia did some chicken tenders yesterday, and we had so many of them left over. We did Caesar salad with chicken tenders as a wrap. So we did like a chicken wrap. Nice. It was nice. What'd you guys have? Anything fun?
I had mine minus the wrap.
Minus the wrap.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling the wrap tonight.
We're digging the wrap.
No.
Hey, at the Cottage Coffee House, hey, we still have fajitas. We're doing fajitas. So anybody that's around and wants fajitas, text me in your order before Thursday afternoon, and we'll get you in for some fajitas.
And you're doing a different side this week, aren't you?
Yeah,
For
we're
the
doing
nacho chips.
what's called a cowboy caviar. I don't know if you've ever had that, but it's basically, it's like a bean dip, but there's a bit more to it. So there's avocado, a black bean, red pepper, green pepper, a little bit of jalapeno pepper, purple onion, and then obviously cilantro and cumin and things like that. And there's some sauce that kind of makes it a little bit unique. So we're doing that as a side. And we actually made some of that today, and we did what's called a rancher's wrap at the Cottage Coffee House, which was roast beef and cowboy caviar. And great sandwich, actually. Man, when I come up with a sandwich, I come up with a pretty damn good sandwich. I do.
So Bob had ham, smashed potatoes, broccoli, and had Queen Elizabeth cake for dessert.
Wow, Bob, you're pretty fancy. Tea. What kind of tea was he having? You get sleepy time tea.
Sleepy time tea, yeah.
And yeah, fancy, Bob. Sounds good though. I mean, smashed potatoes. I do like smashed potatoes.
So do I.
Not to be mistaken by mashed
No,
potatoes.
smashed potatoes. You kind of boil a potato, like a small potato with the skin on, and then you usually use like a drinking glass, smash it down, and then you put a little bit of olive oil and spices, put it back in the oven, and cook it on both sides so it gets a little crispy. Yummy, yummy.
Anybody getting stir crazy yet? I mean, they say in the spring you always want to kind of get up and get rolling, and we're into March. Pretty soon we're going to be into April, and anybody out there just kind of going, I got to get out of town. I got to go do something. Or is everybody just kind of settled in? Is everybody okay with things? I mean, it's just pretty routine, right?
So tonight, Brenda had lamb, mashed potatoes with cauliflower, and zucchini and peas. So lots of veggies with her supper. Very good.
Yeah, lamb was awesome. So what do you eat with your lamb? Do you eat like a mint sauce, or do you have
We usually have mint jelly with it, but I know people also make like a rosemary spice kind of gravy with it as well. I've heard of that, but I know we usually do mint jelly.
I like my lamb with ketchup.
Oh, no, you do not. That's disgusting.
Just kidding. I would not put ketchup on lamb. We don't have lamb very often, but every now and then we'll buy a rack of lamb and cook it up. It is nice. Nice change up. So good for you. Good call.
So Bob is waiting desperately for boating season. So he's getting a little stir crazy. He wants to get out boating.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna be a few weeks away from even thinking about that, but it's looks pretty frozen up still out there. I think we're gonna play some weather. Anybody up for a Happy McSunny episode today?
Well, as we're talking about spring, let's roll the weather.
Let's roll the weather. Let's roll the weather.
Good Wednesday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Happy McSunny, and I'm reporting to you live from Westport and the Reno Lakes area. The weather for the next 3-4 days, we're going to be around -5, -6, mix of sun and clouds all the way through. And then starting next week, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to see it up in the pluses and maybe a little bit of rain. And that's pretty exciting stuff. And tomorrow, March 4th. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by Irish Spring. Strong enough for a woman, but made for a man. Irish Spring. Good Wednesday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Happy McSunny. And I'm always happy. Happy, happy, happy. And the sun is going to be happy, and the weather's going to be happy, and everybody's going to be happy.
What do you call these little flakes that are coming down that are really fine snow? What's that called? What's the term
It's
for
called a
that?
snowflake.
Oh.
Well, there you have it. Those little white things that fall from the sky are called snowflakes. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Good job with the cameraman that had their finger in there a couple times.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was gonna edit that out, but then I thought it adds to the show.
Adds to the charm.
Adds to the charm of the show. I don't want this show to be overproduced. I've been accused I've been accused of overproducing this show a few times.
Well, we don't want to overproduce it.
We don't want to make it too good.
Bob was suggesting a boating intro for Happy. Well, first of all, I don't think Happy has a boat, but once the lake is thawed out and somebody has a boat, Happy McSunny, I'm sure, would love to do an intro on a boat at some point.
So since we're on the boat topic, I'm going to ask people that were out there tonight, what's your favorite boating song? Is there a boating song that you like a song a boat song? If I had a boat, I would boat out on the river.
There's lots of East Coast music that talks about boating.
What's it all about?
East Coast boating. What's it all about?
What's it all about? Well, I was reading. I caught on the Westport Facebook page earlier today. They were talking a bit about nowhere to live in the village of Westport. There's not a lot of rental places available, and I know this has been an issue, and I've talked about this with you a few times in the last year or two, that as Airbnbs continue to kind of grow and areas kind of get overwhelmed with people that are coming in from other areas, that tends to push residents out of the rental business. Like there's nowhere left to rent, there's nowhere left to stay. So, and I know Prince Edward Island has, not Prince Edward Island, but Prince Edward County has seen some of this, where there's so much of that the employees that are working there don't have places to live, and I think it's something we need to be mindful of as areas like this kind of grow. I don't know what the solution is, but every rental property. I'll use Westport as an example, but every rental property in Westport cannot be an Airbnb. If it's all Airbnb people and all people that leave for the winter, who's going to look after the place in October when everyone goes away? There'll be nobody here.
Is this your dark roast?
It is not my dark roast.
Kind of sounds a little bit like your dark roast.
Okay, this will be my dark roast. So let me go spin. Let me go spin this dark roast, and we'll
Continue the conversation.
I lost my dark roast here. We're going to be live in 0 seconds. Tonight's dark roast is, if all of the rental properties become Airbnbs, where will the people live? Inquiring minds want to know. And furthermore, if blind people wear dark glasses, why don't the deaf wear earmuffs? Inquiring minds want to know. Anyway, yeah, that's my thought, and I saw that tonight on the Facebook page, and I thought about that for a while. It's should there be a cap on how many Airbnbs are allowed to be in areas? We had Airbnb in our home.
We did.
And we got rid of it when COVID. And it's funny, I reached out to a customer of mine. John is his first name. They had an Airbnb not too far away from here. And I sent a message, I think 3 days ago, saying, hey, you want to come on the show, talk about your Airbnb, how things are going? And he says, oh, no, we're not doing the Airbnb anymore. They stopped doing it as well. So they stopped a year ago as well. Because it is a lot of work running an Airbnb. I mean, it's great, but there is a lot of work and there's a lot of time involved in doing that. So, and it's not only Airbnbs, it's many things. Even with the housing market the way it is, so hot, that a lot of places are being bought up, and maybe people that are just not able to get into the market are not able to find that place to live. And so, I don't know. What are your thoughts on the topic? Anybody out there have any thoughts on it, or anybody care?
I think the people that are looking for long-term housing probably care a lot, because there hasn't been anything available for quite some time. And as we're talking Facebook, I did see that Tom You from Exit Realty is starting up a page for people to go to if they're looking for long-term rentals. And they're going to try and tee that up between Westport and Rideau Lakes area so that when people are looking for housing and what's available to rent, instead of posting on the Westport Ontario page, that there's an actual page for long-term rentals.
Yeah, yeah,
But
good.
I agree with the Airbnb thing. We had one, and then when COVID hit, we're like, forget it, we're not doing it anymore. And now we do have a long-term renter back into the space again.
Yeah. Well, we have a resident that's actually living here and working here that's living upstairs. It's our son. He pays us rent, so it's like having a tenant upstairs. Absolutely. But my thoughts are like, let's say seven. How many homes are there in Westport? Are there 300 homes here?
I don't know, let's say for argument's sake, we'll say 300.
300. We'll throw a few more apartments onto there. We'll say 350. Let's say 500 for easy math. 500.
500. There's definitely not 500 even after that subdivision.
But let's say there was a community that had 500 homes in it. Let's say there was a community, and we were to say that 7% of those properties could be allowed to be an Airbnb. So 7% of the 500, so 35 homes could have Airbnbs in them, and you couldn't open another Airbnb until one of them closed down. So it would be like, I don't know, licensing it a bit, or at least controlling it. Maybe it's 10%, but I think there has to be some mindfulness put into that growth. And as communities change and evolve, and they will evolve as things are happening right now, that municipalities and the powers that be need to be forward thinking a little bit before people that live in these communities have nowhere to live, have nowhere to go, and they can't afford to live anywhere. And I think that will be a bad situation.
It will be, because then it'll be very difficult for both you and I to hire for our businesses if people can't afford to live in a town.
Well, there'll be nobody to hire, and then the bottom line is, can the businesses even survive to be open at all? So it's a real catch-22. So anyway, anybody out there listening to me tonight that's in the political field, whether it's municipal, federal, provincial, give that some thought. Put that in your pipe. Gift certificates at the Cottage Coffee House are available still. And I know the weather was brought to you by Irish Spring, because hey, it's that time of year. Oh yeah, my camera's over here now. Espresso Shots, dark roast coffee, the official coffee of the Espresso Shot live show. So available at the Cottage Coffee House in beautiful downtown Westport. I don't think I have anything else to report on. I mean, it's been a busy week. Even though it hasn't been super busy in the cafe, it's such a busy time.
Busy stuff.
It's busy with stuff.
Busy stuff.
Busy work. Keeping ourselves busy.
Oh, I'll have, since you have nothing else to say, I'll put a little snippet in there that a month late, but finally received it. I have new product for my shop, and you'll see some new stuff on my online store starting tomorrow. Pretty exciting. With the big truck pulled up and 20 boxes.
Yeah, and if anybody's tuned in wondering, like, who is that person? What is she going on about? Cynthia, my wife, owns the Life's Good shop here in the village of Westport, Jake Lake. She actually gave me this beautiful jersey hoodie about a month ago, a couple weeks ago, and I just started wearing it, and I really love the color. It's awesome. But she pretty much wiped out most of her inventory at the Super Bowl sale, but now she's got inventory back in. So if you're looking for some fresh stuff for spring, definitely pop on in or check out her website as well.
Check out the website. We're open just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but check out the website. You'll see new stuff, going on there for the next couple days as I enter new inventory. So pretty exciting. Brenda's excited for me too. Yeah, Brenda, I was waiting for new product to come. And then, Maureen said it's great coffee. She enjoys your Espresso Shots coffee. And she had it this morning in her new cottage coffee cups, which we
nice.
shipped to Jeff to give to her for, I believe, her birthday. That was about a week and a half ago. So she's enjoying Espresso Shots Coffee in North Carolina and her cottage coffee cups.
Awesome. Well, glad we can bring a little bit of Canada to you down south. And like I said, I put a picture of some butter tarts. Been working on my picture taking to try to get some pictures a little bit nicer. So I've been working on that. I put some pictures out of some butter tarts and just kind of knowing that the Americans always like butter tarts and things that are all Canadiana. At some point, well, hopefully we'll be able to welcome the Americans back to Canada and to Ontario and definitely to the Village of Westport here. That's where you're supposed to chirp in and say something.
Oh. I thought you were on a long 5-minute monologue.
Monologue. No monologue. Like I said, what I was getting at, we've been super busy, so I haven't got a lot of things together for the show tonight, and there's really not been much going on. It's just people are all just kind of hesitantly plugging along, and we're getting there. And hopefully, these vaccines get to where they need to be and to get in people's arms, and we can be like Texas. We can just get rid of these face masks and get back to business as usual, and try to get some normalcy back into our lives. I think I'm going to end it right there tonight. I don't think I have anything else to kind of say.
Good night.
Good night. Peace out, folks. Fred Ramona, have fun skiing. Your dog is doing absolutely fine. Probably the noisiest house in the village right now with dogs barking at the window. They're both kind of just going crazy every time somebody walks by, trying to outbark each other. So that's been fun. But other than that, everything is absolutely fine here in the Village of Westport. Peace, love, coffee. We'll see you guys all real soon when you get back to the village here. Let's drag out the goodbye, and just keep dragging it out and just not going anywhere. Just kind of keep saying goodbye to people, and then it's like, oh, is that the end of the show? No, it's not really the end of the show. This is actually only the middle of the show. I've got a whole bunch more stuff that I want to talk to.
Oh boy.
We're bringing in a guest. I'm going to grab him right now.
Yeah. Good night.
Anyway.